So yeah.
All right, everyone. I am Easy Mode's Ragey Poo,
And this is BSBoys Valour.
and we're bringing you another Marine Arena Masters! In the bottom left-hand corner, we have TryHrd, Relic, and ImNotGrayson. Top left, FVCKIN's KateUpton, and IsIrI's AdolphCaesar.
And in the top right corner, we have xTBaG Dizaster and fucking Bluesky. Dizaster is already making an Dizaster. And in the bottom right corner, team 4, we have xTBaG, or however else you want to pronounce it, and Leprechaun, who's decided to go for Ling Marine, and xTBaG has gone for Sharpshooters.
And in bottom left side, it looks like Grayson opting to go for Ling as well, and we do see Zealots coming out for Relic. And look at this, Hunter Killers popping out for top left's KateUpton, and AdolphCaesar deciding to go with Marauder and Corruptor, early Corruptor.
Grayson and Leprechaun have both got stim on their Marines already.
Now, how do you see that, Valour? How do you know that they have...
Oh, I click on their Marine. I click on their Marine, and the stim icon is not grayed out.
Oh, right on, right on.
Yep.
Excellent. It's too bad I can't, like, see in the production... The production is so weird in the replay. It, like, or for, as far as the upgrades, if you look at the upgrade tree...
Yeah, I don't use the upgrade at all. I basically opened the production earlier on, and then later on I just open the units tab to keep track of units.
All right, right on. So we do have that early task star out for Dizaster, and I wonder how that's going to fare up against these Hunter Killers. And 2 Deathwings coming out for Zakar already.
Yeah, exactly, 2 Deathwings. Deathwings are actually pretty good versus...
Uh-oh, we're experiencing audio issues for you, Valour. Are you there?
Yeah. Hear me?
Yeah, it's... Uh-oh. Ooh, it's coming... It's really scratchy.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder what's going on. Ooh, this is bad. Hold on. Let me re-add you to the call. Alright, are you there? Uh-oh. Could be having some audio issues with Valour. Guys, if you could please stay tuned. We will get back into the action. Hopefully we can figure out what's going on with his audio. I can hear you. Are you there, buddy? Can you hear me, Valour? You might need to unplug your microphone. I can kind of hear you, but there's no... Oh, there we go. Say something real quick. I heard your computer for like 2 seconds. Technical difficulties, you gotta love it, guys. We're figuring it out. Don't worry. He will be back, I guarantee it. In the meantime, I guess I'll just try to take control of the game just for a second. I'll let you know when I can hear you, Valour. So right now there's a little bit of back and forth going on in the middle. Zakar already taking an early lead with those Duskwings, able to pick off a lot of units. Relic and Grayson trying to go in, being very aggressive, pushing bottom right back. And ooh, I can kind of hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Is it all good?
All good. All right. So we. Oh no, wait. It's doing this weird feedback. Whatever you do, don't touch the headphone jack. Fuck, now I can't hear you again. Alright, so touch the headphone jack again, because I can't hear you again. There was a flashbang that went on KateUpton. Oh, I can hear you. Now you're gone. Okay. So flashbang's going off on AdolphCaesar. In fact, he's getting surrounded by Grayson. A lot of back and forth going on. The Hunter Killers have popped out. They're doing a lot of damage to Grayson's units, and he might need to back out of there. He's getting sandwiched by Leprechaun, and Grayson, oh no, he lost a bunch of units. That was super upsetting for him. Oh no, losing so many units. And now top right, pushing possibly to AdolphCaesar. He's looking to gear up. I can feel it. I see it swelling. There he goes. Dizaster going in with that Dizaster. Is he going to be able to connect with AdolphCaesar's units? And yes, the storm does go down, but doesn't get a very good connection. And
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Is it all good?
It's all good. Whatever you do, do not touch that jack.
Okay, I'm not touching anything.
All right, don't even move your head, man. This is perfect. All right. So Valour, tell us what's going on.
So Leprechaun and Zcar are getting slightly higher bounties. Those Dustwings are really doing work. Oh, but a really good 100 meets Zcar missile goes down from Bluesky's Ravens.
That's right, and a corruption going down on Dizaster's units. He's got to get out of there. Those hunter killers are doing so much damage. The storm does go down on KateUpton's sharpshooters right there, but look at this. The KateUpton's oh my gosh, I'm losing my tongue right here. The hunter killers, they dealt out a lot of damage in that back and forth, and I think KateUpton actually came out ahead with 14-11.
Definitely, hunter killers do really well versus Tessadar opening because you can just use the hunter killer to keep harassing the army. And Tessadar Storm does nothing to the hunter killers alone. And your army is going to be weak because you invested in the Tessadar as well.
Uh-oh, so Observer is saying that you're a little bit quiet. I mean, I'm hearing you just clear. Let me, shit. Let me, guys.
Perhaps you tuned me out too low before during the testing.
It might have just been the audio thing, so we might need to just retest it. Hold on just a second. I'll turn him up. Maybe this will change things. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay, can I go ahead and talk? Now? Go ahead and talk consistently. Just clear. Let me,
okay, I'm talking right now.
Let me.
Bottom left is actually engaged in bottom right. Stim Ryan's in the middle. A very strong position held by Leprechaun, already going up to +3 attack Marines.
Hold on just a second.
And a very good storm goes down on his Marines on the ramp, killing almost all of them.
Okay, can I go ahead and talk?
What about that? And Bluesky loses one Raven to the ×2 Corruptor by AdolphCaesar. And Dizaster loses yet another Corruptor as well.
Yeah, you're sounding good. Go ahead and push the microphone up a little bit more to your face.
What about now?
I don't know. It sounds fine to me, but hopefully the people at home will be able to hear you clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm using like a headset thing, so the microphone is like kind of like a fixed distance to my mouth. Can't really change the distance too much.
All right. Well, I turned you up all the way. Actually, if you can even turn up your volume on your side, this really sucks because it was totally fine before that.
Mastermind, is it still really quiet?
I guess that's what he's saying.
Oh, I guess I just have to talk louder then.
So I'm still clear. Okay, man. Weird. All right. Well, getting back into the game, it looks like KateUpton actually taking an early lead at 1732. Not far behind though is bottom right. Zcar at 1667 and Leprechaun at 1616. Even Grayson and Relic keeping up at 1659 and 1552.
Yeah, top right has lost one Raven and one Corruptor already so far. And so that's not good.
That's right. Bluesky's Raven is actually really low too, and my gosh, these hunter killers at level 2 are just leveling, especially with the corruption going down on Bluesky's units.
Absolutely, absolutely. Basically, every time Dizaster doesn't have Storm, he should retreat, because every single moment that you're fighting with corruption and hunter killers hitting you, it's not worth it at all.
That's right. In fact, with 2 corruptors, AdolphCaesar's army mixed with KateUpton's is just looking so scary. And Grayson's trying to get a piece of that while the corruption is on cooldown, and I think he's going to be able to capitalize on it, but he does need to be careful of those hunter killers. The scan goes down. Is he going to be able to get them? No, in fact, he doesn't in retreats.
In fact, he didn't quite focus them. He was definitely in range for that. But he is keeping his medevac relatively safe out of the range for the 2 corruptors. So that's a good thing.
And these Duskwings are getting a little low. There's not enough energy to heal. Oh, now it just finally comes up. Will Zcar be able to get the heal off?
Oh, Leprechaun was trying to heal it, but Zcar moved his Duskwing out of the way.
Oh, and Relic able to kill it.
And that was not really smart.
All right, so we are at a pause, so hey, let's capitalize on this. Let's see if we can turn up your microphone volume. Just a smidge.
I just have to talk louder then.
Okay, let me push play test 1 2.
Test 1 2.
Test 1 2.
Test 1 2. Really smart.
All right, so we are at a pause, so hey, let's capitalize on this. Let's see if we can turn up your microphone volume. Just a smidge.
I just have to talk louder then. How's it now?
Okay, let me push play test 1 2. You're about half.
1 2?
Yeah, you're really low. You're about half my volume.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm not quite sure if that had to do with the audio or what. Do you want to fiddle with the microphone jack and maybe it'll...
Okay, sure. I'll go ahead and fiddle with it. I'm kind of scared it's going to make that really scratchy noise again, but I'll go ahead and try it. Is this
Okay.
doing anything? Is it doing anything right now?
I don't know. You sound just the same to me, but maybe
Oh, okay.
maybe at home people will hear something different.
Oh. Oh, I'll just talk louder, I guess.
Yeah, even when you were talking louder, it was still about half.
That's really strange.
It's super strange. It really sucks because it was totally fine before. Audio settings, you're at the max. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I can probably do this and just move my microphone away a little
Okay,
bit.
so Kate Moss saying I sound fine. Maybe it is okay now.
All right.
I guess I'll
Good.
just talk louder. Yep.
All right. So hopefully the audio now is fixed. And Bluesky decided to go with double Ravens now. Zakar
Yeah.
losing one of those Duskwings, 2 Relics Corruptor.
Yeah, one of the Ravens did go down, so he's bought a new one already.
Right, and if you look at this Valour, actually Relic is saving up. He's almost at 1600. We could be seeing some airplay.
Oh, definitely from Relic. He is a fan of airplay. Leprechaun is also banking up almost 1,000 minerals, so he's not upgrading his Marines anymore. So I'm curious as to what Merc Leprechaun might go.
Well, hopefully we'll see maybe some Reavers, possibly even some kind of tier 3 unit. But since he is going Marine heavy, I wouldn't be surprised if Reavers don't come out.
Yeah, Grayson has already revealed his tech choice in the form of Tanklings, so he is definitely going for pure Tanklings with Marines, already with 4 attack and 1 health upgrade so far.
So there we go. We do have Reavers coming out from AdolphCaesar on top left, Mutalisk coming out for Relic, and bottom right hasn't revealed his tech choice yet. He is still at 977. I imagine once he comes
got
in...
Goliath right now.
Really?
Yeah, Goliath for Zcar in the bottom right corner.
So what do you predict he might get as his tech choice?
He got Goliath.
No, I'm talking about Leprechaun.
Oh, Leprechaun. I have no idea. I think he's just waiting to see what's happened. It looks like Dizaster is definitely going for all in HT. The Hunter Killers are right under the HK, and are they going to snipe it? Oh no, he just lost all 3 Hunter Killers trying to snipe the Tessadar.
Not worth it.
Yeah, basically it's kind of relying on people right clicking somewhere and not paying close attention. In those scenarios, you could easily snipe a Tessadar with Hunter Killers.
Right, and unfortunately it cost him big because Grayson actually capitalized on this, moved forward on the top left-hand side, and is dealing huge damage. Now actually going after Leprechaun's units. Those Tanklings are doing so well. He's able to stem up. He's currently at 4 ups right now, and wow, he dealt so much damage, now currently in the lead.
And huge 100 Seacom missiles going down from Bluesky. Leprechaun not exactly splitting his units. Zcar doing a relatively good job of splitting his units, but Leprechaun not so much.
And we do see that Tassadar is level 4, so you are right, Valour. He is going pure Tassadar. I think that could be a poor decision, though, with all these tier 3 units. Hopefully he will back off from upgrading it fully and choose a tier 3, maybe even a tier 4 unit.
Or in this case, I mean, since he decided to go all in, he might as well go all in. What Bluesky has to do is to go Goliath. He can go Goliath to counter the Mutas as well as Reavers, and that will provide a relatively safe backbone army for the Tessadar.
You know what? The Goliaths actually wouldn't be bad against the Tanklings either.
Yeah, they're okay versus Tanklings. Not bad at all.
Well, we do see Bluesky is at 13. He did just buy his tech choice. I think he just spent 1,000. And there we go. Instead, destroyers.
I don't think I agree with that at all. Destroyers aren't very good versus Mutas. They're not good versus Tanklings. Tanklings counter them, and they're definitely not good versus Reavers either. So that's a really surprising pick choice, in my opinion. He probably just wants to feed off bottom right corners Goliath and Ling Marines. So that might be what's happening. But yeah, in the overall scheme of things, I can't say I agree with that pick choice at all.
I think I agree with you.
But the Mutas got really low from 2 storms. He probably didn't realize just how high level the Tessadar really is.
Right, at level 4, it is currently doing 180 damage over 2 ticks, and that
Yeah.
is enough if landing 2 storms that would completely kill all those mutas. And bottom right, Leprechaun still hasn't revealed his tech choice. I'm wondering
No,
what
he
he's sitting
hasn't.
on. And here we go.
Oh,
AdolphCaesar's coming up. He is fighting Bluesky, and we do see a corruption down. The storms hit, but barely do any damage, and he's going in and totally annihilating the army. Look at his points, going up 2,500. And no, actually, he decides to back out because Grayson, coming in the top left, the Hunter Killers do pop out. They do have the flashbang on them, and he does deal a little bit of damage, but AdolphCaesar able to push Grayson back.
exactly. Going, the Reaper of Bluesky seems to be going down because he's too busy controlling his 2 Ravens, so they did go down. And a very clutch point defense drone going down, saving that Raven just on 7 hit points.
Oh, I didn't see that, and sure enough, there it is. 10 hit points left. That was awesome, awesome play with that point defense drone.
Grayson is in a relatively good spot because the Hunter Killers aren't that effective versus a Marine plus melee. So the Tanklings absorb all the damage from the Hunter Killers, so it's perfectly fine for Grayson. But the Reavers might be causing some trouble. But Relic has, air control, so overall it's pretty good for them.
Valor, I miss the days when Tanklings used to do damage against Reavers.
Yeah, I think they were definitely a time when Tanklings were a little bit OP, and they got quite a few nerfs.
And coupled with the Medibabe, I really think Grayson has it pretty much locked down. Currently at 3,778, but not too far behind is Dizaster. His Tessadar is doing major damage, and now deciding to get an Immortal to counter the Reavers.
Leprechaun has saved up to almost 1,400 minerals in 16 minutes, and he still hasn't quite chosen his tech route yet at all. So I'm a little bit surprised.
Do you think he could possibly be saving up for air, maybe some Wraith play?
Perhaps, absolutely.
I'd be interested to see some scout play as well. But with Goliath for KateUpton, going another air play might just be a poor choice.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me? Because you lagged for a second.
Yeah, it seems like my internet disconnected a little bit for a sec. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, what I was saying is if he decides to go airplay, KateUpton from top left deciding to go Goliath mixed with those Hunter Killers, airplay might be a poor decision.
And the Reavers are going in top right corner. But the split from Bluesky seemed okay, splitting his units onto both sides. So most of these Reavers are actually going down. And I don't quite agree with that decision because now he has to take a long time to mess up. And then he's caught out of position by Grayson as well. So top left pretty much just lost all their mass in one engagement.
Ooh, AdolphCaesar getting surround. Grayson is actually coming in trying to surround Leprechaun and does not. Zakar and Leprechaun are actually surrounding top right. Storm does go down. It does minimal damage though as these Marines are just pushing in. They're going straight in. And Valour, I think they might be able to do it. No, actually Storms go down and kill the threat almost immediately, taking out all those Marines.
Tessadar is actually doing extremely well. Just look at his points. He's leading right now with 4,300 and 525 kills on the Tessadar at level 4. It's not bad at all considering it's a scrim.
No, not at all.
In fact, it's extremely good, in my opinion, Tessadar. So he has done extremely well with that.
I'm actually really surprised. I haven't really heard much about Dizaster or Clan TBaG, but he's off to a really relatively great start.
Yeah, he's a long friend of mine. His name used to be called Jesse Norre, for those that have played MA for a while. I'm talking something like a year and a half ago, so he had another name. But yeah, those who played MA for a while might have seen him around.
What was his name again?
Not Jesse. A bad player at all. Jesse Norre.
Jesse Norre. I'm unfamiliar with that. Bottom right's Duskwing for Zakar is actually really low. He could possibly lose this to the mutas if not careful. Relic does have those mutas and that corruptor. Very scary. A little bit of back and forth going on the right side tower, and the storm goes down and actually misses all those mutas.
And a big flank coming from Grayson surrounding all of the Goliath.
Wow, he's gonna be able to get all that.
Yeah, there's no, there's no Goliaths are going home today. And it seems like Leprechaun has finally spent his money. He spent it on Cracklings along with all 3 upgrades for Cracklings. That's why they're
Really?
yeah, that's why they're 0-0, but they do have all 3 trainings, and that's where all his money has gone. I don't agree with that tech choice at all. But it seems like Leprechaun does always seem to prefer Cracklings with his Marines in at least almost every game that I've played with or seen him play in.
Well, they're certainly not going to be doing any damage to those Reavers, but they could be effective against the Goliaths, against the Immortals, and maybe even a little bit against the Tanklings. But I think the Tanklings overall will be able to just hold off enough to deal the
Yeah,
damage needed to with those 7 attack Marines.
exactly, absolutely. It's seven attack Marines with the attack minor, aka stopping power, versus Leprechaun, who only has 3 attack, but he already has 1 range. At this point, getting range is not worth it. Yeah, so we can see Leprechaun already got 1 range on his Marines, but it's not worth it at all because the damage is still very low.
Right, only 3 damage is just not worth
And a
it.
huge engagement going on in the middle. Relatively good splits from Grayson, dodging most of the storms. But at this stage, you're not really worried about energy on the Testadar. It regens it pretty fast.
Wow, Relic actually coming in and cleaning house, was able to take out bottom right and is possibly going after Bluesky. I think he could take out all Bluesky's units, even with the overcharge, but he's got to be careful. The Secret Missiles are going down, even the Storm going down. An excellent split. He was able to dodge that Storm.
Exactly. And he has the Medivac from Grayson to help him heal up.
That was beautiful play.
It was a really good play. Bottom right is pretty much contained now. I don't see much threat from bottom right at all.
No, the big threat, I believe, is Grayson. Grayson is doing really well controlling this map.
Yeah, he's the one in the lead. So for them, I would say top right corner is definitely the one with the biggest threat.
Well, with those Storms, for sure, because he is going full Marine. Currently at 8 ups, no range upgrades. I think that's actually a mistake. He probably should get at least 1 range upgrade going after all these tier 3 units. But I guess with the Tanklings, he is able to just rush right in and do a lot of damage. So perhaps thinking because of these Reavers, he doesn't need it.
I actually disagree with that analysis there. Because Reavers are melee, so you don't need range on your Marines to shoot them. And Reavers are going to come hidden first anyway, so all you care about is keep upgrading damage on the Marines, so they don't get capped by the Reavers.
Indeed. And possibly even just going straight for the rapid fire upgrade. Currently at 400 damage, or 400 minerals, sorry. And there he goes.
Yeah, there we go. A really good engagement for Grayson, in fact. The Reavers are a little bit hesitant, moving forward and backwards, and then getting caught out by the Immortals on the other side from Dizaster. All the Reavers are going down and minimal damage done from them. Grayson going up to +9 attack on his Marines. Yep.
That was, in fact, even a big surround. Dizaster able to capitalize, taking out KateUpton's units, and I think what the Reavers were trying to do was just be kind of a shield to allow the Goliaths to do the damage, and without the Hunter Killers there, they just didn't do enough damage, and unfortunately losing a whole bunch of supply. Top left, now down to 48 supply for AdolphCaesar, and a whopping 174 for KateUpton. That's really going to hurt.
Those Hunter Killers are somewhat of a failed investment, to be honest. I mean, they don't have that many kills, but they're level 3, which is still a considerable amount of money placed into them at the moment.
And they're just not going to be that effective against 10 Marines for Grayson. This is crazy. Absolutely controlling the board. 2,000, pretty much ahead of everyone.
Missiles going down on the Relics mutas, but most of them surviving with very low HP, so quite lucky there for him.
It was very close. Bottom right, what are they gearing up to do? They're trying to take control of the middle, but I just don't think they're going to be able to hold it. Grayson is just going to roll over Leprechaun.
Yeah, exactly. Leprechaun has decided to go for 3 attack on his Cracklings rather than keep upgrading the Marines.
Really?
He has decided to do that. I don't agree with that choice at all. I mean, the only thing that Cracklings are good against are Immortals, but you have High Templar for that. You can Force Field, you can Storm, you can do anything. So basically, we can understand why Dizaster has chosen to go for Immortals with this High Templar. In fact, he pretty much always does this, because High Templar is extremely Reavers, and Immortals pawn Reavers. So yeah.
And it's unfortunate because the Cracklings do counter Goliaths, and unfortunately, crossed spawn, there are Goliaths. There's no way he's ever going to be able to reach them. Grayson will not let that happen.
Yeah.
So looking at the scoreboard right now, we do have Grayson at 6,733, currently in first place. His team doing very well overall with 11,800 and 49 points. And bottom right, Zakar and Leprechaun kind of in third place so far, being overshadowed by AdolphCaesar and Bluesky, or I'm sorry, Bluesky and Dizaster, currently in second place.
Oh, a huge storm going down, doing a lot of damage, but not killing anything yet.
That was a lot of damage. In fact, Relic was able to get out of there. KateUpton deciding to try to push for middle, and here we go. Leprechaun, if he can get the surround, he will do good damage against those Goliaths, and Grayson is nowhere to be seen. He's actually pushed back by the Goliaths from bottom right, and look at this. AdolphCaesar actually coming in to defend those Goliaths. Great play. He does push back Leprechaun and top right with a few storms, but missing.
Most of the damage done to Leprechaun's own army is from stim. He stimmed his Marine 3 times in total. Just from that engagement alone. And all his Marines are extremely low. One storm goes down and they are pretty much all dead.
Seeker Missile going down, taking out those Dusk Wings.
Yeah, that Dusk Wing was long redundant. And we can see the tick path from Dizaster. Very interesting. He's decided to go for Matrix upgrade on the Immortals and then went for all 3 range upgrades. And then he's gone back to take his test star again, now on level 5. And I have no doubt he's going to make Archon.
And I think that was the correct choice. You mentioned before that going straight Tassadar would be a good idea, and I think it would have, except everybody deciding going for these high, heavy Tier 3 units and these Immortals. Upgrading them, I think, was the correct choice for sure.
Yeah, he upgraded a little bit. In fact, the way he's upgraded is exactly enough to hold up those Reavers. Those Reavers are going to melt. They're only 2-2 versus the Immortals, and they will die really fast.
Surprisingly, the Goliaths for KateUptons are 0-0, and I'm guessing he could still possibly be investing in those Hunter Killers. They're currently level 3, but no hopes for those either. Where is he spending his money?
Oh, he's spending it all on the range upgrades for the Goliath. So all 3 trainings, called Mechanized, as well as Multi-Lock on there. So that's a good 1,400 almost just spent on those upgrades. So that's why you can't see any +1s or armor or anything like that for these Goliaths.
I see. Big battle going on now. Grayson and Relic pushing in. They were able to push back AdolphCaesar. Coming around the backside is Dizaster, and oh my gosh, all those hybrid Reavers are going to melt. Bluesky, meanwhile, is on the right side, pushing in, trying to push back Zakar. Isn't able to do it. Leprechaun trying to surround Grayson. In fact, he couldn't do it either because he's getting hit by Relic and Grayson at the same time, and both bottom right is going to have to back out for now.
I would actually give the advantage to top right just because of the higher level Tassadar. If that morphs into an Archon, it's going to give Grayson's army a lot of trouble.
It is.
Along with the Mutalisk as well. Because we can see that Relic didn't put all his minerals into attacks. He put them mostly into HP for Mutalisk, which means that even if he gets an Overseer and stuns the High Templar, the Mutalisk are not going to kill the High Templar that fast at all.
Exactly, but possibly Grayson could have blinked by that time. So we'll see how that works out.
Grayson has gotten both range on his Marines already. No support tower yet from him, but yeah.
So no drops yet.
Is there a bit of lag here? Am I lagging again?
It was you, but it's gone away. Actually, I think the whole game is kind of lagging a little bit. Yeah, are you still there, Valour? And it looks like we are having a little bit of difficulty. We'll try to get Valour back. In the mean, oh, now I can hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, my internet is just not really good at all. And plus, I always play on a laptop, so.
Well, I think we're gonna be good to go. There's a little bit of spike here and there, but I think for the most part everything is gonna go smoothly.
I would actually like to see Dizaster being a little bit more active with that High Templar. It's been on full energy, and it's not like Infestor, which has extremely low energy regeneration, relatively speaking. So yeah.
And here we go. Defense Matrix does go down. Storms are going down on the Marines. He's picking off actually quite a few Marines. Might be a big mistake from Grayson.
Yeah, a huge mistake from Grayson. In fact, losing 400 supply down to 200 supply only.
228 supply currently, even down 234. And I think Dizaster just going with these Immortals, even upping them, is just the correct choice. He's got a really good supply. He's got 400 supply currently. And that Tassadar at level 5 slowly getting up to that Archon. But he's doing it right. He's doing it correct. And he's almost passing Grayson in points.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing extremely well. Bluesky, on the other hand, has 7 attacks on his hybrid destroyers. And he hasn't got any health upgrades at all yet.
And he needs it for that overcharge. Currently at 8 attack now, 35 damage each. Looking at the Reavers, and look at this, 3 attack up for the Reavers. I don't think I agree with that at all. Reavers do best with armor, especially with Goliath behind, but even the Goliaths don't have any attack ups. So I'm guessing that that's the only reason why he's favoring putting any attack into the Reavers.
In fact, it's pretty obvious why he's going for +3 attack. The reason here is he wants to get Merc spawn as soon as possible, and the armor upgrades are extremely expensive, and he is very poor right now, so that's all he's rushing for. He's getting whatever upgrade is cheapest, so he can get the Merc spawn ASAP.
That makes sense. Yeah. And look at this, even Relic's mutas are just pushing back Leprechaun. He doesn't do any damage with 3 ups.
No. Leprechaun is pretty much contained, and he's still going for crackling attack, up to 4 attack on the cracklings. I just don't quite understand it at all. It's not going to do anything versus mutas. It's going to tickle the tanklings, or maybe kill some. And it's going to absolutely suck versus the High Templar, which has 750 kills, by the way. He hasn't lost that High Templar at all game, which is extremely, extremely impressive. But then again, there were no commandos, no ghost openings like we usually see. The Reavers are going in, and they're getting melted completely by these Immortals. The High
my
Templar
gosh.
is running back safely. Yeah, it's just going to help him get Archon sooner. That's pretty much all it's going to do.
Well, we did see we had a triple Reaper opening. It was either Grayson or Relic that had it, but because it was cross spawn, there was relatively no threat for the Tassadar. But look at this, force field's going down. It looks like the Cracklings were trying to surround it. He is going to be able to escape, and a little bit late on that storm, he could have actually gotten a whole bunch of kills there.
In fact, in a situation like this, I wouldn't even have thrown down 2 force fields. I would have thrown down 1, and then and then they will all run through the other choke that is open, and then you can storm there. So when you throw down 2 force fields,
it's a lot of energy.
All players are just going to run back. Like Leprechaun is not going to engage into that if you throw down 2 force fields. If you throw down 1, you can bait him into the choke and then storm, and then all his units will die pretty much. So yeah.
Here we go. Finally, some good Immortal Micro with the Defense Matrix. If you didn't hear me last game, I was absolutely raging at AdolphCaesar just blowing his Defense Matrix like it was nothing on all the units. So I'm really impressed to see this here. And Kate Moss did bring up an interesting point. There's absolutely no Marines behind these Reavers, and they are kind of just failing a little bit to really help KateUpton trying to get those Hunter Killers, I guess, in some kind of position. Currently level 5, but it's still going to take a while.
Now we see 3 attacks and 3 armor on those Reavers, and I'm pretty sure AdolphCaesar is just getting ready to buy his Merc spawn whenever he can. He's got 400 now, so he needs another 200 to get that. That is the thing that he's aiming for sure.
Bottom right has built up quite a bit of his supply, but again, they are kind of stuck. In fact, AdolphCaesar, I feel, is stuck too, with KateUpton at 6,000. AdolphCaesar stuck at 4,700. I think he's relying purely on these Hunter Killers to deal the damage. Which, in fact, if he was even going that, I'm surprised he even got Goliath at all. He probably should have just invested purely in HKs. What do you think?
But then again, I mean, like I said, HKs aren't even that good at all versus tankling Marines. Any sort of melee in front to tank the HKs means that the HKs really don't do that much at all. So he had to go Goliath, otherwise versus Muta tankling Marine, the HKs wouldn't be able to do much. And look at all those Mutas going down to around 150 HP just for that single storm alone. He is on level 7 High Templar, and he is extremely close to Archon. In fact, he's 100 minerals away from Archon and almost on 1,000 kills for that Tassadar. So this is an Archon definitely coming soon. The Archon should definitely be out before 40 minutes.
That's incredible. 330 damage. That's so much. Reavers are going to get smoked.
It looks like Grayson has opted to go for a few more hit points on those Marines. I mean, doing that isn't going to help versus Tesla at all. Whether you have 45 HP or 85, it's just going to die instantly in a storm regardless.
Could be looking to get the hit point upgrade to make his stim better.
Yeah, exactly. But in this instance, I would simply just rush for the blink immediately, along with an Overseer.
I agree.
I mean, an extra 10% on the stim isn't going to help you at all versus the High Templar. Not one bit. So
interesting choices indeed.
And he's gone up to 7 attack on his Immortals as well, Dizaster that is. So he has an extremely solid army behind his High Templar. So we see an extremely good build from him. In fact, High Templar Immortal has always been this guy's signature build.
And it's certainly working for him. He was a little bit late to the show, but wow, is he a showstopper here at 9,636 currently in first place. Full supply too,
exactly.
Almost.
And that is 100% effective bounty. He hasn't bought back a compound. He hasn't bought back a High Templar, not once. So that is all in fact going into his army and his hero.
Interesting that he chose not to get a High Templar, but instead building up those Immortals. A High Templar Archon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead deciding to bolster the army. That's an interesting decision.
He just wants to hold mid, and he can pretty much storm anything. I mean, at this stage, to be honest, an Archon and a level 7 High Templar, there's not that much difference between that storming things at this stage right here. And the Reavers are trying to go in for a sandwich, but they're getting pulled away by those Immortals on the side of the wall. Pretty funny.
Great bolstering by Bluesky too. He did see that coming in and came right away. But then went right back to keep bottom right from coming in. Great teamwork.
Exactly.
You know, I'm actually surprised. Go ahead.
Now that I see an Overseer coming out from Relic, it would definitely be a wise choice to get an Archon. If there was no threat, then by all means stick with a level 7 High Templar. But now that there's an Overseer, definitely go for an Archon, because one stun and your High Templar is pretty much dead. Almost always.
Right, because of that low hit point, low energy, or I'm sorry, low shields.
And KateUpton actually just lost 100 killer to a Dizaster, so making Dizaster going all the way up to 10k and 400.
Wow, that's incredible. He is sitting on 1,131 minerals. I want to see that Archon.
I want to see him throw down all his energy and then go more for an Archon.
There you go. Especially on these Mutalisks. Please clump up and get those Mutalisks. Those Ravens are just itching.
Yeah, to be honest, it doesn't even matter if you throw down a storm and it does nothing. I mean, energy is free. Every storm that you don't throw down is like a storm. It's like a storm that you missed. That's one way of putting it.
I totally agree. 100%. I really think you should not sit on your energy. And whoa, even able to take out the Tanklings. Very powerful storms.
I mean, that's just free minerals.
I think you should almost take out Zakar over here. He's pretty much on hold command, not doing anything.
Yeah, he's afraid of Grayson coming into mid. So I do think they have the right idea. Bluesky can go ahead and hit those Goliaths with his Ravens as well as his Destroyers. So because Destroyers counter both Cracklings and Goliaths, so it's an extremely good choice. And while Dizaster simply camps middle.
Beautiful play, beautiful teamwork by Bluesky and Dizaster. Just really incredible play.
Raking almost all of those Goliaths. And it doesn't even matter that the Immortals are choked, because at this stage, I mean, the Storms are killing the Hunter Killers, so you can just tell the difference between these.
Oh my gosh, getting all of them right there. 330 damage per Storm, 350 hit points on those Goliaths.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Not even close.
At this stage.
So again, spending his money. Go ahead.
Okay, no, Bluesky still has both of his Ravens. I would like to see him dump the energy. Oh, there we go. One Super Missile, 2 Super Missile. The missile is actually not doing that much because Storm actually claimed most of the units before.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, Grayson losing all of his Marines, an 800 supply almost. I mean, that was like 600 supply. Oh my gosh.
5 storms in a row. Yeah, so
12,000 now.
This is why I say he has to rush Blink. He didn't do that, so a huge mistake on the Blink.
And it seems, Valour, it seems like everyone's actually lagging, and I think it might be
Really?
you observing. Yeah.
Oh, because I'm not lagging at all. Like, it's perfectly fine right now for me. Is it lagging for you?
Well, it was lagging earlier, and when you actually dropped the call, it picked up. I think it might be lagging it a little bit.
Because if I'm not lagging, then I don't feel like I would be lagging anyone. Oh, actually, Leprechaun attempting a drop on top left. Are they saying they're all lagging? Well, in that case, maybe I should leave then.
Yeah, I think just for now. I did like having you on though, Valor. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would like to have you on again.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Mastermind actually saying he's gonna leave. So if he leaves and then there's no lag anymore, then I'll stay. But if he leaves and the lag is still bad, then I will go away and let these players play in peace. Because I know there's nothing more frustrating than having lag while playing.
Yeah, it's actually lagging really bad. It was lagging earlier in the game, but we'll see if something fixes it.
And the High Templar is actually still alive, despite being flanked from both sides.
There he goes, almost like a victory march, throwing down the force field just to try to get away, and there he goes. He is finally able to get that. And yeah, actually, once you left, the lag went away completely.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
That's okay. Valor, again, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say before we end the call? Or?
No problem. I'll be watching the stream, and I predict that top right should win this pretty easily without too much contest, as long as they get Planetary Fortress and watch out for the support tower coming from Grayson. That is all I have to say for today.
Awesome, Valor. Thank you so much for coming in. We loved your expertise, and thank you for your predictions. We'll see if Valor is correct. And thanks again for tuning in. Thank you very much.
No problem. See you, Reggie.
See ya. Alright, so we now are at the 40-minute mark, and now that the lag is gone, hopefully everyone will be able to play at their fullest. Still 9 attack for the Immortals top right, and the Tassadar is sitting on 1442. Something could happen. We'll see what he decides to do, if he's going to go Archon or if he's going to stick with this Tassadar. Top left currently, low supply, 144 for the Reavers currently, 3 ups for his armor, 4 attack. I think the ups for armor would be better. And let's see what these Hunter Killers are at right now. Currently level 6. If he was level 7, maybe he could do some damage, start upping those Hunter Killers. Staying behind the Reavers could possibly do a lot of damage with this team, but it could be too little too late. They're so far behind right now. Grayson isn't too far behind. Dizaster currently at 13,848. Grayson not quite in the 10,000s yet, but his Marines do so much damage, and with his ability to just get all those units with his quick rapid spawn of Marines and those quick spawning tanklings, he might be able to push in either bottom right, maybe do some damage to top left, and get back in this game. Anything goes until that Tassadar decides to switch to Archon, and then once that happens with the Overseer, who knows if he'll be able to get, with Blink possibly, and with hero damage, if he'll be able to kill that High Temple Archon. So bottom right now is kind of stuck. There's not a whole lot going on. The Ravens are kind of moving into position. It looks like we could see a Seeker Missile. No, actually decides to back out, saving it for now. The Hunter Killers do pop out. They're trying to do a little bit of damage to Grayson, pushes them back. And the Hunter Killers actually are, the Goliaths are doing a little bit of damage to the Ravens. The Relic comes in, does a lot of damage to KateUpton's Goliaths, and where are the Reavers? Reavers now finally coming out, but it might be too little too late. He's running in and getting at least a good attack on the Marines. The Marines are going down, but Relic is doing so much damage to this supply of AdolphCaesar, and again going down. AdolphCaesar was able to get quite a bit of money from that, but I think in the end, Relic and Grayson came out on top. KateUpton currently at 7,467. I really hope he can do something with his Hunter Killers. He did end up losing 1. They are level 6. We want to see them get up to at least level 7. Zakar is kind of stuck back in his base with Leprechaun, deciding to go with these 4-attack Cracklings. If you guys remember, Valor was talking about how the Cracklings were just not very effective against these units, and sure enough, we're seeing it here. The only thing I can think that would be so effective about these Cracklings is he could possibly go around the units and do some damage to the buildings. He could do possibly some mercenary snipes, which might be a good idea with 4 attack. I mean, he could possibly do it. He's going to need a little bit more armor, a little bit more hit points. But if everybody is preoccupied in the middle, he could possibly do some snipes, probably not on bottom left with this superior control by Relic, but maybe top right as they're sitting in the middle. Maybe he could run around on the backside, do a little bit of damage, or at the very least run past all these units here at top left, because there's barely any units there, and do a few snipes. But really, without that, I mean, there's not much he can do. 5 ups for the Marines. He does have the range, and just his upgrades are proving to be fairly ineffective against the overall better ability that Dizaster has. I mean, his task star is just controlling the show. And here we go, the Overseer with the stun, but unable to deal the damage. In fact, the storm goes down, takes out a few of those Mutalisks. You can see a little bit of their bits and pieces rolling down the hill there. So unfortunately, not able to fly in and pick off that task star. That task star still has the corruption or contamination still on it. It does finally pop. So he's going to have to wait a little bit before he can do another contamination. There it goes. Actually, he does have enough. Wow, he actually regenerated that energy fairly quickly. The Ravens are now in position. We could actually see 2 Secret Missiles go off on the Overseer. No, in fact, he decides not to, and instead just favors holding the position, waiting for his opportunity. He could even save those Mutas for Relics, or save the Secret Missiles for Mutas, and I think that would be the correct choice. Looking at the APM tab just to see who's doing what top left. Relatively quiet with a lower APM. Even Grayson kind of sitting back, could be discussing perhaps a tactic, while Bluesky is just going crazy right now. Now, I know obviously the APM is a little bit time scale, but at least we can see who's really doing the action and who's kind of just chilling out. Bluesky running past all these units. I think that's kind of a little bit of a mistake. And what? No way, an Infestor, a late Infestor. Wait, level 5, Zakar out of nowhere. Has he been saving up for this Infestor? Finally reveals it, and it's actually doing a lot of damage, taking out a bunch of Bluesky's units. Oh my gosh, Zakar, where did you come from getting this level 5 Infestor? And I think that's exactly the right choice considering what he is up against. KateUpton now has his hands full with still level 6 Hunter Killers. Oh no, but he could be taking out Bluesky's Ravens, and sure enough, there it goes. Actually, the point defense drone absorbing so much of the damage, and wow, one of them able to escape. That was actually a really good play. Bluesky unable to save both of those, but saving one is still pretty commendable. And I love seeing Dizaster using the Immortals correctly. Oh, microing the defense matrix. I love it. I love seeing this, and he is definitely playing at top tier play. This is incredible. He is kind of my favorite for today. An underdog, a seemingly unknown, just coming in and really taking control, showing us how it is done. And I love seeing this. Relic coming in, kind of being a little ballsy, while Grayson kind of sits back, makes sure he has control of the tower. But I think he needs to be kind of out into the field. He's out of position. He could be doing a lot of damage to middle right now. But instead, he's just favoring, I guess, going behind enemy lines. And I think this could actually be a big mistake. Relic trying to get as much money as he can. He does dodge the storm here. And there was a little bit of back and forth between Bluesky and Adolf, but not very much bottom right. Still sitting on this full supply. I mean, he's not in the game. Leprechaun is just kind of just chilling here. He doesn't really know what to do. And look at this, even feeding a little bit right here. Meanwhile, there is back and forth going on from AdolphCaesar. Those tanklings trying to get to the front, so that way the Marines can deal a bunch of damage, and they do. They deal so much damage. The Reaver's only at 3 armor. I mean, they just don't have enough to even tank these Marines, and you hardly ever see Marines just going totally to town on these units. But this is interesting. He doesn't have rapid fire yet, and I'm not sure why. I mean, the tanklings don't even have any hit point upgrades. I guess Grayson has just kind of been out of it. Oh, that's why, because he got Blink. And oh no, this could be Assassin Blink if he doesn't get this protection. Oh, he does finally get the Merc production. And that was actually a decent play. Losing Marines, but that's okay. He got 500 points from that. And that's going to be just awesome for him. Meanwhile, what's equally awesome is the fungal growth going down. I mean, just out of nowhere, this Infestor doing fairly well. He's got 40 kills. But it's not even about the kills for the Infestor, just the fact that he's able to bring the hit points so far down with his fungal growth. I wish I could see how much damage that it does. If he could just pop it out. He can't hear me, but I would love to see how much damage it does. Hybrid Reavers are actually in good supply. He's got 564. I really think that the Hunter Killers need to start kind of following these Reavers to deal some damage, and I don't think he's quite doing that. Where are those Hunter Killers right now? Yeah, they're just sitting back at base, and like Valour had mentioned, they are just kind of a poor investment at this point. Fungal Growth going down on Bluesky, dealing good damage there, and he's dwindling down this army left and right. Those Fungals being so effective, the Goliaths are able to just take out the destroyers. But a couple of Seeker missiles actually neutralize that, and there is a Fungal Growth on the Raven. Not enough to kill it, though. We'll see if he does give it a little bit of a heal from middle. And, oh, the heal missed, actually. And that's gonna kind of suck. I hate when that happens, guys. So here we go. Relic is fighting top left. Those Hunter Killers are doing a lot of damage to the Mutalisks. And actually, the Mutalisks go down. I think one of them is killed. Relic, ooh, you have to be careful, dude. A lot of your units almost died there. I think you lost at least 50 supply there. But picking off a Hunter Killer, I think, was worth it. And bottom right, Leprechaun, I mean, he doesn't really have a leg to stand on. What is he planning on doing? Right now, Zakar is pretty much just taking control. I think at the very least, Leprechaun should get an Overseer. Something to help Zakar in his ways. I mean, there's nothing that he has. He has a support tower, but his Marines are so weak he can't drop. And in order to just kind of help this Infestor, he's got to get something, either Ravens, an Overseer, something to help with this Infestor, unless he is just planning on going pure Marine play, which, I mean, after a while, Marines do get good, but these Cracklings are just not that effective. In fact, I almost feel like he should have just not got Cracklings at all and went for Templar. If he would have got Temple Archons, he probably could have done fairly well. Temples do counter Immortals, they do well against Reavers. I'm not quite sure how they do against Goliaths, but I think he would have been in a good position. Yeah, I mean, just interesting choice coming down from bottom right. And while I do favor Lings, I do like Lings, or I did favor for a long time. I actually started using Temples with my Marine army, and I feel like it's just a better overall experience. Tanklings, though, have been really effective against Grayson. Grayson and Relic actually doing a very good job. It's just Dizaster holding middle and just completely countering top left. I mean, he's able to get so much money. Those Reavers give him 12 minerals every time, and I love seeing the perfectly microed Matrix. I love it. Even deciding to build up Marines, Dizaster building his Marines, that's kind of interesting to see. And here we go. Finally, the Hybrid Reavers are coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage. It looks like the Tassadar was taken out. I don't know when it was destroyed, and I apologize for not letting you guys know that it was down. But yeah, I guess it was taken out, and I don't know if that was Grayson that took him out. He must have been taken out perhaps a while ago. Contamination does go down on the Ravens, but unfortunately unable to kill them. I think the Hunter Killers were trying to do the damage. There are level 7 now, but he needs to start getting some attack ups, and once they pop, we'll see how many attack ups he has. Because those things do a lot of damage, guys. I mean, level 7 Hunter Killers are great, but especially behind the Reavers. The Reavers are going to be great tanks for them, but he's got to up the damage. And a Raven does go down. The second Raven goes down. Relic able to pick both of those up. That was a great play. And now actually going after Dizaster, fighting on the tower to make sure that he doesn't have the vision. And uh-oh, he could be in a bad spot because the Goliaths are going to town. In fact, oh, the Infestor almost had a fungal growth, but he decided to burrow back down to save himself. I think he was scared of that Overseer, and I think he really had nothing to be scared of. I don't think that Overseer had enough energy. Oh, no, actually it did. But I don't think he was even thinking about using the Overseer on him. He could have possibly gotten that fungal growth and killed all those mutas. But playing it safe is probably way better than being too overly aggressive. KateUpton still with no hit points on his Goliath. No upgrades. He's going pure HKs. And, you know, it could possibly work. It's just he's so far down on supply, and AdolphCaesar only has 7,000. I mean, it could be too little too late. The Tassadar is now finally out. And I'm really surprised we're not seeing the Archon. That's just so crazy. He's basically been sitting on it for the last, I don't know, 12 minutes. He could have went Archon and decides not to. I think he should go Archon. That would just be great to see. But as Valour mentioned, necessary, he still does a lot of damage, 330. In fact, not even getting any more ups for his hero. I think he's just kind of favoring these Marines. I mean, he has 6 range, quite, I mean, decent damage, and I mean, he's got a lot of hit points. He could possibly go for the hit point upgrade. I haven't seen the stim yet, so I don't know if he has the hit point upgrade yet. If you don't know, when you use stim without the hit point upgrade, it does it reduces it by 0.7. But if you have the hit point upgrade, it does reduce it by 0.9, making it just that much faster. And here we go, KateUpton doing a little bit of damage to Relic. He didn't pop his Hunter Killers though. There he goes. But not able to do the damage. In fact, I think Relic was even coming out on top in those engagements. Here we go, AdolphCaesar with a full supply. Is he going to decide to go in? I mean, the only army he has to attack, unfortunately, is Dizaster, and I think he needs to attack Grayson more than anything, but he just can't move anywhere. I mean, Dizaster pretty much has mid lockdown, and Bluesky has the right side lockdown. I mean, these guys, if I haven't said it yet, they're locked down. I mean, there's just nowhere that they're going to go. Even, I think even Bluesky even deciding to go with Marines. They're both going double Marines. And wow, look at this big engagement. It's going back and forth. There is a fungal going down on Bluesky's units. He did lose one Raven. The second Raven is there. It's really low. He's trying to go into the middle to get it healed. He's going to need to back out, though. Those Mutalisks could possibly get it, but in fact do not. And there we go. Heal does go down. But wow, Bluesky losing so much to those fungals. And Zakar saying, wasn't that cute? Yeah, Zakar, that was actually really great play. It's just unfortunate that your partner decided to go with those cracklings. It's just not working out for him, I feel. And I mean, is he still going for these crackling upgrades? 5 attack upgrades, still going for it. That's so bizarre. I mean, he could possibly have gone for the Merc spawn upgrade, and no, he's not yet. And I am going to take a quick break, guys. I'm going to drink a little bit of iced tea for the throat. Hold on just one second. Oh yeah, good old iced tea. Alright, so more back and forth going on. Did he lose that Infestor? I couldn't see it. No, actually his Infestor is still there, but it is level 7. He could upgrade it to a Queen at any time, and instead decides not to. I think he's pulling a Dizaster right now, deciding to go for the highest level, but still not upgrading. I really think he probably should go Queen. Queen is absolutely devastating once it gets out, whereas the High Templar, I mean, the High Temple Archon is devastating once it becomes an Archon, but really, like Valour said, it only really gains just a little bit of extra ability, like the mind control. But if you have a good position, you have strong units, and your Tassadar can still do the damage without needing to switch, I mean, why not? Use those 1,000 minerals and invest in something else, I guess. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's investing in Marines, and it seems to be working out for him. He is currently at 18,754. Bluesky at 17,084, and they're just taking, I mean, they're taking this map. This is crazy. He's doing so well. We do see a defense matrix there. 2 ups, 9 attack, 3 ups for armor, 6 attack ups for Reavers. I really think this is just a big mistake. AdolphCaesar, I understand what you're trying to do, but with the way that your partner is working, I think you need to be the defense guy, and having your partner with his HKs be the offensive. I mean, those Reavers are suffering with only 9 armor. They could be at least 12 or 13 armor right now if you had the correct ups. And here we go, Blinken. It looks like he was trying to go for those Ravens, but instead does not get it. And Leprechaun is just stuck. He has nothing he can do. Even Grayson seems like he's a little bit stuck. He does now have heroic damage. I think anticipating either the Queen or even just Tassadar, going after Tassadar himself. And here we go. Now we finally have some engagements. It is a little bit laggy. Fungal Growth going down on the Mutalist, dealing a lot of damage. And if he's not careful, one more Fungal Growth could completely take them out. And the Infestor is still alive. The Tassadar is still alive. There's so much back and forth going on. Even a Fungal going down on a few of these units. There is a Blinken by Leprechaun. He's trying to go after the Raven. Did he get it? No, in fact, that was a clutch heal right at the very last second. And so, wow, Blink from what? From Leprechaun. But he's only at 6 attack. He doesn't even have I don't know. Leprechaun he's got a strange build that he's doing. I don't really understand it quite that much. But oh well, I mean, he's trying to make it work. Hunter Killers are trying to do a lot of damage to Bluesky. In fact, they actually do. AdolphCaesar able to push him back. Storm's going down, doing a little bit of damage on those hybrids, but those hybrids are so so strong. And Grayson's saying this lag is really good. Yes, it is very good. Bluesky's saying it is the best. And you know, guys, I'm not really quite sure where this lag is coming from. This is very strange. And I mean, he's lost 4 Ravens. I mean, do we have any observers? Any obs in here still? Let me make sure that Mastermind isn't still here. I think he might be watching. We might have to have Mastermind leave if he is still watching. And no, I guess he's not here. Unless he happens to be AFK. Leprechaun trying to do something, but can't even hurt these auto turrets at 11 attack. Wow. Leprechaun just, I mean, he's hurting. Is able to take control of the tower, but I don't even know how. Relic should be able to lock that down each and every time. Because Leprechaun's he's just not that strong. And Zakar is starting to kind of come back. He's at 11 attack right now for Goliath, which is actually huge. I really think he should start focusing on hit points, which it looks like he has 450 hit points. Getting up to 500 would even be great. And starting to work on the armor. He does already have the Infestor. It is max level. So maybe just getting them a little bit stronger, because he is against 11 attack hybrid Reavers. But, I mean, look at the hit points. 400 with extra 157 shields. I mean, those are really buff hybrid destroyers right there. And supplemented with 2 Ravens. I mean, get out of town. That's just crazy. Leprechaun is on the high ground trying to deal some damage. It is, oh my gosh, is it really SD already? Well, screw that, because Leprechaun just dumped his entire army down. I mean, what supply does he have? He's at 492, with Zakar at 500, but he really lost a lot of army there. Bluesky, I guess, losing most. He is down to 296, and here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. I think Dizaster knew that this game was going to go into the long run, and deciding to go Marines, that could have been exactly the right choice. Because as I talked about in the previous game, if you don't go Marines and it does go to SD, you're basically losing out on an extra spawn. And it's really hard to get those units up, to get those units back to where you need to be if you happen to lose them in an engagement. Grayson deciding to attack KateUpton head on, and it seems to be very effective. He's at 640 supply, just dropping KateUpton. KateUpton. It is KateUpton. I keep wanting to say Hudson. To 270 supply. AdolphCaesar sitting back with the max supply, and that's probably the right choice. He doesn't want to lose too many of these Reavers, but at the same time, you got to at least pull a little bit of your army. Possibly even just to attack top left. I mean, top left is giving you an opportunity. Why are you even going after Dizaster? He counters you completely. Just don't even try it, buddy. You should actually go after Grayson. That would be at least better, at least for a little bit. But I think fearing the mutas here. But hey, I mean, if you can tank for these hunter killers, the hunter killers are actually going to do a lot of damage. And AdolphCaesar saying, wishing Reavers could morph into Scourges. And I don't know what Scourges are. I'm guessing that could be a HOTS item. And, yeah, that could probably be Imba. I don't know what a Scourge does. But that would be nice to see a morph. That would be really interesting if Tier 3 units could do at least one morph. Considering that there is technically a Tier 4 unit. So it would be considered Tier 3.5, and that would be really interesting to give it an extra upgrade. Have it cost maybe something extremely expensive. You know, like 1,000 for the upgrade for Hybrid Reaver, and then possibly, I don't know, 650 or 700 to put it at Tier 3. But then, I mean, once you get into that, there has to be an upgrade then for Tier 4, or at least increasing the upgrade for Tier 4. And looking at this, Adolf deciding to go full on attacking the planetary fortresses. Is this going to be enough? I mean, top right could be in danger, but no, he's got 2 armor. There's no way. I mean, look, he's not even doing that much damage. The other planetary fortress, however, is taking some damage. Does have to be careful, and no, he's going to be just fine. And there we go. Top left deciding to go all in, and unfortunately it just doesn't do the job. That would have been actually really good to go against Dizaster, but in the end, just not enough. In fact, I think Dizaster should get one more armor upgrade if he can afford it. There he goes. It is now currently at 2. And if he has an Overseer, he should definitely heal that up. So one more iced tea break, and I will be right back. Oh yeah, I'm getting down to that honey part that settled on the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's so good. So here we go. Big blink in. Was able to take out the Infestor, but not before the fungal growth went down from the Infestor. But now that the Infestor is gone, does Zakar have enough army? He's getting kind of low. He's down to 366 with the Marines for Leprechaun down to 480. Storms do go down on Relic, but it does miss. And Zakar saying that he died from lag. I don't know if it was lag or not, but he definitely did die, and he does have to get that Infestor out. Luckily, it doesn't take that long, and hey, maybe that's why these guys are deciding not to go for that full Queen or that full Archon, just because there is a lot of lag, and maybe they don't want to lose it. Speaking of losing, though, my gosh, AdolphCaesar, I mean, totally glass cannon. He's down so far, and I might have spoke too soon. It looks like we are getting an Infestor, and look at this, deciding to go planetary, deciding to get bunkers. So he's got the planetary defense, or I'm sorry, the base defenses, and wow, how interesting. They're just going total defense right now to try to get that Queen out, and you know, it could be a game changer. I don't know how much. The car is currently at 16,606. And who knows, they could make something happen. We'll find out. Hunter Killers now finally doing some good damage with 6 attack ups. They are max level. But really, I mean, Goliath, it's just 2 attack. I really think if he is going to have these Hunter Killers behind this army, if anything, he should up the Goliath's hit points. Because he needs something to sit behind while he does the damage. And, I mean, for the most part, AdolphCaesar has not elected to do that. Instead, still going in for attack. I mean, I'm smacking my head right now. I think that's wrong. He needs to go for armor. That's exactly what the unit is designed for. Why in the hell is he going for attack? I mean, he does 33 in a small splash area. But he has all this hit points. Very little armor, though. I'm sorry, but 9 armor is just not going to be enough against these high damage units. It's just not. So sad. Yes, he's able to take out a few Marines, but if he gets anywhere near these Immortals, they are going down. Look at that. Massive damage, 84 damage per hit. And uh-oh, Tassadar was kind of in a hold position, and he actually took a bunch of hits to the face. With those Marines, he's got to be a little bit careful. And Middle's just able to be taken by Dizaster at Bluesky. They're raking in the money. And Leprechaun trying to fight for this top tower. In fact, I'm surprised that the Overseer doesn't move over a little bit so that way they can have the high ground. Why even scan when you have an Overseer right there that can give you vision? That just seems kind of like a waste. So, Relic. I'm not sure what they're bantering about, but a nice blink in by Bluesky. He does take out a few of the Mutalisks. In fact, his supply is down to 484. So you might need to actually rebuild that army, because max army is for Bluesky, almost. And Dizaster definitely has a maxed out army. Zakar now finally has that Queen out. 0 ups, though. It is doing 265 damage over 3 seconds. It seems like it should increase more. Damage increases with CC hero upgrades. And he's just going to have to upgrade that a little bit. It just doesn't do a whole lot of damage. The Tassadar, I think, does way more damage. 330. Way more than that Queen Fester. A lot of hit points, though. 4,600 hit points. So that is going to be 1 buff Queen. It even has a little bit of armor. Yeah, there is 1 armor up for the Goliath, which I think he does. He needs to get that armor up. So 500 hit points, that's actually really good. So the Queen now, let's see how that Queen does. He does get a fungal growth off. He is doing a lot of damage to those destroyers. The Overseer does put a contamination on him, and he is going to back out for now. And oh man, if he can get a fungal growth on these units, and I think actually he did, and another fungal growth goes down. And oh man, these Mutalisks are just going down left and right. He's down to 297 supply. Back and forth going on in the middle. Meanwhile, Bluesky stimming up, or overcharging with the destroyers, dealing a lot of damage actually to the tanklings, surprising considering that they counter him. And does the tanklings even have any hit points? No, actually, that's really odd. I guess Grayson just doesn't have the money. These tanklings need to have a lot more hit points than that. 240 is a little bit low. Fungal growth does go down on Bluesky's units, and that's exactly what he needs to do. But he might not have a big enough army, and those Marines are so fast, he's got to be careful. I mean, he could get around these units, possibly make something happen. He could blink in, he could get a contamination down. And wow, fungal growth going down on the units here from Dizaster. And there we go, the Overseer is trying to get into position. And in fact, it does go down, and Grayson blinks in and able to get the kill. Grayson picking it up. That was a good pickup from Grayson, but he did lose some supply while trying to get it. But at least the Queen is down for now. And that's going to be a big hit for Zakar. 18,666. He's going to have to wait so long. and Zakar's saying, hey, are you guys working together on this? And no, I don't think it was. I think he just happened to see the opportunity, considering he does have that vision. He was able to steal it. So speaking of stealing, the Hunter Killers are kind of stealing the show here, doing a lot of damage. Able to keep all three alive. There's a scan going down, but no, actually, AdolphCaesar finally coming in to help his partner. And I really think AdolphCaesar is just, he's playing a strange style. He played strange the other game, and he's playing strange again this game. And he could just be having a bad day. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But I really think that his team would have been a little bit more destructive, a little bit better off if they had some better communication. And what I mean by that is just playing the game where the roles are clear. Those Reavers are for defense, and those Hunter Killers are for offense. So if he could have went with those Hunter Killers, like, see, even now the Hunter Killers are so exposed, and Adolph electing to just kind of sit back, and I think KateUpton knows this, and he's feeling it. He doesn't even know what to do, because Adolph will just kind of refuses to go out with him, and I feel kind of bad for KateUpton right now. KateUpton is an excellent player, and I feel like Adolph is just kind of pulling him back and keeping him with nothing. Currently at 12,946, and Adolph way, way behind at 8,539. And look at this, Bluesky even killing off some of his supply. I think because he's favoring the Marines now, it seems like he doesn't really need a whole lot of destroyers, as the Queen can pretty much take him out. But since the Queen is gone, I think he is just favoring more Blink Marines. And look at this, Relic trying to come in, deal some damage. And whoa, what did he take out? Was that the Raven or was that the Overseer? I didn't see that. And I wish I knew what that was. In any case, good pickoff. I can't believe he just ran right in front of these Marines. They could have done a blink in and did some damage, but actually did not. And you know what? Now I'm looking at the board. I think all these colors kind of suck. What do you guys think? Blue and green? Bleh. White and brown? Eh. There's red and black. I mean, red and black kind of looks okay, but the red is a little overpowering. And green and orange. Ugh. Looks like puke. Sometimes team colors can look really good, but it's just not working for any team. Is that just me? I mean, I don't know. I don't know about, what do you guys think? So double stim now, and I feel like those temples are the way to go. That's right, getting Temple Zealots, good choice, good switch. I think temples are going to really change the game here, as temples just seem to counter everything. I mean, they're so good. They do have their weaknesses, but if you can get them high enough on hit points, high enough on armor, I mean, what weaknesses do they really have? I mean, come on, seriously. And Bluesky and Dizaster able to hold middle for so long that they're now currently both at 26,697 and 26,629, or 269. And I think, you know what, I almost wish that they would save up for a Tal'Darim. I would love to see a Tal in these big scrims. And if you happen to be watching and you have the ability to whisper these guys, please do. and tell them Rageipoo would really, really love to see a Tal'Darim, because I don't want to whisper them in game. That would be wrong, but that doesn't mean you guys can't, and I would love to see it. Please whisper them, tell them to get a Tal'Darim, because I want to see it, and I think they can get it out. They've been holding middle for so long. They even have 2 towers. I mean, there's just no way that these guys are going to lose anytime soon. So please encourage them. Go get that Tal'Darim, boys. Start saving up. And look at this. The queen trying to make something happen. Big Blinkin. Did he get that queen? Oh my gosh, that happened so quick. Nope, actually the queen's still alive. He is burrowed. But the queen actually did some big damage to Bluesky. And in fact, they might not be able to hold mid, because now AdolphCaesar is trying to come into the middle. There was the defense matrix from Dizaster. He is going to have to pull back, and now he's starting to use his hero. I think for a while there, they were just favoring the Marines. And yeah, that was a little bit laggy. Zakar needing to be careful. But even I think the lag kind of favored Zakar in that matchup. KateUpton losing so many units. The stims aren't really hurting why can't I remember the names? Hunter killers that much, but it did definitely hurt those Goliaths with absolutely no hit point ups. 350. In fact, why do you even have attack ups? That's so crazy. I mean, I guess it does help his hunter killers. Why can't I remember the name hunter killers? His hunter killers. Hunter killers. Hunter. Killer. Hopefully I remember it now. Hunter killers. So I mean, it does help those hunter killers a little bit, but not very much. I feel as much as it could if you had some hit point upgrades for those Goliaths. I mean, look at this. He's got 500 hit point upgrades for his Goliaths, and that's exactly what he needs to have. Bluesky coming around, big blink in, completely avoids the queen, and instead I think just attacks some of the units. But the Overseer does go down. There is a contamination. Is he going to be able to get out of there? Oh my god! And Scan goes down. He does not get it. And he might have actually overextended himself a little bit. No, actually he got the queen. And Dizaster, oh, great pickup. And still actually relatively high supply, 490 supply. And Zakar saying that he can't even move, attributing it completely to lag. And Bluesky saying, come on, man. I mean, I don't know if it was entirely lag, so let's not just blame it on that. Let's just not do that, because then you start looking like a dumbass. I mean, no offense. Not saying you are, it's just if you contribute everything to lag, I mean, I don't think it's that laggy for you guys. I'm not playing the game, so I can't really say that, but yeah, just don't do that. Anyways, yes, we're all in the same boat. Exactly. See, it's still coming down to skill versus skill because everybody is lagging. And look at this 2,000. Oh my god, is Dizaster saving up for a Tal'Darim? Please say that you are. Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. Bluesky is not, but Dizaster at 2,267. Please save up for a Tal. I think he could totally get it. I mean, he really doesn't need to have that money, does he? I mean, I guess his Marines are up there. And wait, what? Oh, now he's getting the Archon. Aw, no Tal'Darim. I would have loved to see it, though. I think he could have got it. But actually, Grayson and Relic is kind of a threat. I mean, they are starting to catch up. His Marines are currently at 17 attack. What? That is incredible. And Relic actually just dealing the damage with 10 up so far. And wait, oh, okay. I thought for a second there that Relic switched to Tanklings, and I was just gonna shoot myself, because that's just crazy. And AdolphCaesar deciding to attack Bluesky head on, and I don't think Bluesky has quite enough here to be able to deal with this. Maybe he does, though. I mean, he did the right thing. He blinked up to the top. He's letting all of his temples deal with the damage, and temples actually do counter hybrids. It's a soft counter, I believe. They do damage too, massive. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's that bad. It's only about 4 extra damage. So they do the damage, and they are going to have to back out. And I remember when Tanklings used to do the damage, and that was a fun time. Having Tanklings were awesome. And now they're not that incredible anymore. And perhaps Grayson even knows that too. His Tanklings, 260 hit points, but no armor. And I really think that that's a wrong choice. He needs to have at least some armor ups for these tanklings. At the very least for the Marines. That's I don't agree with that. You gotta have some armor, bud, and armor does make some difference. I mean, even he's got 1 armor. Come on now. So it is a little bit laggy, and it does look like Relic is going to come in, take a little bit of damage, and back out. Big blinking, though, by the Marines, and Relic able to escape, though. He's staying just at the very edge, and he still holds the supply with 678. Leprechaun coming in, and xTBaG doing some big fungal growth. In fact, Bluesky needs to be careful. He doesn't want to lose too much supply. He does blink in, tries to get that queen, but deals no damage. And, oh man, Bluesky, Dizaster, you gotta be careful. You don't want to lose too many of those Marines. In fact, if you go in too far, it could spell disaster. It could be a bad thing. But now the Archon is out, and this is where the game could possibly change. Relic is doing a lot of damage to KateUpton. Surprisingly, these Hunter Killers are still not that effective. 6 ups just don't do enough damage. 153. Very, very quick attack speed. It's just not enough. Big Blinken coming in from Bluesky and xTBaG, or I'm sorry, Bluesky and Dizaster. The Storm going down to try to push back Leprechaun. And he still has his Queen, still has the Archon. And look at this, look at all the Marines, just big piles everywhere. I did turn off the blood so that way it didn't lag too much, but I almost want to see if we turn on the blood how that would look. And what? 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 Oh my gosh, the surprises are just coming everywhere. So, okay. I guess Relic deciding to go for a queen himself, and I think that's fair. Yeah, I think he can go queen. And we've seen Relic go queen before with Grayson's very high attack Marines. This could just be the ticket. That's exactly what he needs. Bluesky Dizaster trying to go from top left. There we go. Mind control, able to take away some of those units. But oh no, Grayson trying to get the surround, and in fact the Storm's just doing so well. I mean, that Archon is just like, whatever, guys. You ain't even going to touch this. Big Blinken, though, by Leprechaun, and what? Wow. Able to kill it, but also, oh my gosh. Queen goes splat. The Queen also went down. Big mistake. Oh no. But I'm surprised that Leprechaun was able to kill that Archon like it was nothing. That was actually a really good play. And Dizaster and Bluesky, you gotta be careful. I mean, if you lose too many units, I know you guys are in the lead, but you could possibly be taken out. I mean, it's anyone's game, I feel, at this point, and this is really interesting. I can't believe this is going now for 1 hour and 20 minutes long. 20 attack Marines. Well, that's crazy for Bluesky. And you know what? Those 20 attack Marines should be able to clear these Hybrid Reavers. Very minimal hit point upgrades. 4 armor. I mean, kill me. That's like nothing. And with these temples, I mean, if these temples can get up in the armor, if they can get up to at least 10 armor, and maybe even bring up their hit points up about 100, those guys are going to be unstoppable. I mean, they're going to be so strong. And with 20 marine attack ups, that's just nuts. Even better than Dizaster, 12 upgrades so far, and that's because he decided to go for that Archon. And I mean, at this point, I almost felt like he shouldn't have even gone Archon. He just should have went straight Marines. They have been really effective against the Queen, because bottom right really doesn't have any damage dealer except for that Queen. And uh-oh, they're going in. They're pushing for it. They could even get it. Oh no! Instead, decides to go for the spawning pool. Is going to kill the photon cannon, and nope, Blinken deciding to finish off the rest. And I think that was kind of a mistake. I mean, going after a 300 spawning pool and losing at least 500 in supply, 500 points in supply, might not have been that good. And I almost feel like Dizaster needs to change from the Immortals to something else. Maybe he should even go Temple Zealots as well. They are going to counter the Reavers, but he just hasn't really been using them. They're kind of sitting back at base. They're really just doing nothing. And so I would like to see his full units being a little bit more effective than what they are right now. And he is sitting on 193 minerals currently. Bluesky at 250. What is he waiting for? This is really curious. He does have this high temple. The high temple Archon is going to be out soon, and the Queen should be popping any minute. There it goes. In fact, Relic's Queen should be out somewhere, and sure enough, there it is. Relic's Queen is out, and are we going to see a fungal? It is currently at 3 attack. It only does 310 damage per tick. Or over 3 seconds. It's over 3 ticks, right? Yep, over 3 seconds. And was that a burrow, or did he just kill all that? It looked like a burrow. I don't know, I didn't see it. So we have Queen versus Archon versus Hunter Killers. And here we go, guys. The match has pretty much just now begun. And anything could happen. I'm really curious about top right, though. I'm curious to see what they're planning on doing. Is he going to be able to do this? I mean, they've been able to keep the lead. But look, Grayson even taking middle just by having a tankling here. They really got to get their ass in the middle. Like, what are you guys doing? Seriously, just fucking just take the middle with something. There we go. Big Blinkin. He's trying to kill top left's units, and I think... Oh my gosh, those Hunter Killers actually did a buttload of damage. And he actually lost a lot of supply there. Wow. So yeah, the Goliaths might have been taken out, but those Hunter Killers wrecked half of that supply, and that was actually a really good pickup from top left. Storm going down, it looks like it missed a little bit. And they are going to be fighting back and forth for the right side tower. The Hybrid Reaver's trying to get the top tower, and they will be able to get that. Grayson looking to make his position, and I think he can do it. I think he can blink down, take out this production, and the Queen could possibly get all of AdolphCaesar's units. That was a great fungal. And here we go. We could be seeing the end of top left if he plays his cards right. But no, Grayson didn't have any of those tanklings in front of him. And unfortunately, those Hunter Killers just ripped them to shreds. And bottom left now is very vulnerable. He's going to have to wait for a while. See, look at this. There's hardly any hit points. No armor ups. And he basically pulled Assassin. He didn't have anything in front of him. And that was a poor choice by Grayson. Really unfortunate. We've seen Grayson just play a little bit better in previous matchups. He was on a 5-win streak. And the decision making is just, it's a little odd, I must say. Not quite sure what's going on with Grayson. He was playing great earlier on in the game, but it was definitely a poor choice. And here we go. Big blink in by Bluesky. Is he going to be able to get the production? Yes, he does. The Merc goes down, and what? Command Center wasn't even on Planetary. Even KateUpton doesn't even have a Planetary, and wow, that's just going to be taken out. Pretty much ensuring that top right has this game won. Saying GG. I mean, where was the Planetary? What is going on with that? Relic trying to do some damage here. Oh no, his Queen could go down, and he's barely able to escape. Relic actually dealing a lot of damage to those Marines. In fact, Grayson stims in and finishes them off. Good play by bottom left. And that blink lag, yes, there is a tiny bit of lag that happens when the Marines decide to blink, and it's very hard to dodge. It can actually freeze up player controls. It's nothing I don't think that can be fixed. It's just something that you have to deal with. And wow, already his army is just back in action. And if that Queen can heal up, he might be able to do it again and just keep whittling down the army. I mean, the only army that's left would be the High Templar, and then the rest of these Immortals. And I think with bottom left's army, he could possibly do something. Even if top right or bottom right decides to engage and whittles down this army even more, top right could have some trouble on their hands. Trouble indeed. So I'm going to take another quick moment to drink some more tea. I will be right back. Alright, so we have a contamination going down on Relic's Queen, and he did lose it. Dizaster and Bluesky able to pick it off. In fact, though, he lost a lot of units to Dizaster, losing so many units to bottom right's queen. And oh no, they are in a really bad position. He only has 400 supply, 400 supply each. So if they were rushed from bottom right and bottom left at the same time, oh no, this could be really big disaster for them. He has to be so careful. Here they go, a big blink-in, but the storm taking... Oh my gosh. Grayson. Grayson's just totally derfing it there. And he's going to have to back out for now. And see, folks, anything can happen at this late stage of the game. As we're seeing here, now bottom left is in a position where they're going to have to back out and save up, because now they're really low on supply, and with that queen gone, they are now vulnerable. And you know what, guys? I have been meaning to do this for at least a little bit. I gotta blow my nose. I will be right back. Alright, hopefully I can breathe now, and at the very least I'll be able to bring you more commentary, and here we go. It looks like Mutalisk just destroyed. Big blink-in by Bluesky and Dizaster. It looks like one person might be controlling them at the same time, so let's go ahead and turn it over to their player tab. And whoa, it looks like Zakar actually plays with his camera very far in. And I used to play that way too. I don't play like that anymore. There we go, Bluesky does play out really far, and yes, it looks like Bluesky is actually controlling all of the units here, while Dizaster only controls one unit there. So that's actually really interesting, and I think that's actually correct. I mean, being able to blink in unison and using those Marines both together, that's exactly how you got to do it. And heal coming from Dizaster. Perhaps Dizaster is controlling both of these Overseers and his hero at the same time. Some light storms going down. Fungal did miss on Dizaster's hero. And finally, Grayson now getting somewhat of the supply. He's up to 60 attack. Big blink-in going down. Bottom right. What's happening so far? It looks like Bluesky blinking and taking out a lot of Leprechaun's units, a lot of Zakar's units. It looks like the Queenfester isn't really even fungling these units correctly, and wow, loses so much of his supply. I don't know if that was lag or what, but he was fungling something up here. I guess he was trying to push back maybe the Overseers, but he was completely avoiding all these Marines, and if he's not careful, he's going to get another blink-in, and there it goes. It goes down. That's just poor micro, unfortunately. And bottom right is now in a really bad position where they could possibly lose this, guys. So stick around, stay tuned. Anything could happen, and finally we see the Temple Zealot switch. And I don't know if the Temple Zealot should have been switched from Mutas or not. I feel like Mutas were actually really good. Maybe Grayson should have switched his Tanklings, because those Tanklings just kind of suck. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Temples are just so good. Like you always see them late game. Temple versus Temple. Queen versus Archon. Let's see who will become our victor. And there we go, a big blink-in, Dizaster, and Grayson, Dizaster. Oh my gosh, the storm going down on some of Relic's units, even hitting some of his own. And at the very end, oh my gosh, it looks like Grayson was able to win that battle. I don't know how he did it. I guess he just had a bigger supply, and it looks like Dizaster wants even more of a beating. And Grayson says, I accept. Challenge accepted, sir. And there we go, some back and forth. Was the Queen taken out? Ooh, Relic did lose the Queen. That's unfortunate. Storm's going down on the units. And he is going to have to wait for that Queen to come back out. But Relic's Temple Zealots are actually being so effective because look at all the hit points. 455 and 230 shields. If he can just get this armor up to 10, I really feel like they're going to be so effective. 7 attack ups? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, why? Why? I don't even understand this. Just go fucking Banelings if you're going to do that shit. 310 hit points. I mean, that's where it's at, getting hit points for those tanklings. But no armor? Like, are you fucking me? Like, come on. I really feel like the decision making is sometimes just odd. I mean, yes, attack upgrades are super cheap, and that does help the Marines do a lot more damage. Because they do. They do a ton of damage, but the whole point of having melee in your front line is not to deal damage, but to absorb it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. If you guys at home get it, you let me know. But just fucking shoot me in the face right now, because I don't get it. I don't get it one bit. And the Queen does pop back out with 10 attacks, so now it's starting to do a little bit of damage. And sure enough, 415. That's so much damage from that Queen. And let's see how much damage the Psystorm does. 687. Oh my lord. That is a lot of damage. Those High Temple Archons are so beefy, so powerful. 17 ups on his Marines and 21 ups? 25. He's currently maxed. But what's interesting, he does 38 damage, but Grayson's, I believe, does more. 36, not quite. A little bit under, but heroic damage, he definitely does a lot. And I would like to see Bluesky actually get hero damage as well, just to kind of see how much damage he does. Might not even need it, but that hero damage is so cost effective. Only 400 and increases your attack so much. It really is a good upgrade. He should definitely get it. 274 hit points. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. So Grayson asking for him to fungal a burrowed tankling. And I don't know what he was testing out, but it died. So I guess he said he has a tankling that survived. And I don't know how it would, though. There we go. Queen Festers are out. Max supplies for all these guys, and I'm getting bored. Because it's pretty much just hero dies, everyone back. Hero dies, everyone back. I mean, are you even going to finish off bottom right? No, you're going to go back. Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah. He's gonna lose his units. Blah 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 blah. Here we go. Finally, some action. Relic deciding to come up because the Queen has spawned. And yes, get the surround on those units. Do not let them blink out. And there we go. At least now we're starting to see some Baneling action. Something. Storm's going down, but it does kind of miss a little bit. And if he gets a good blink in, he could possibly take out that Archon. That Archon is really far behind though, and oh no. Oh no, did you just lose all your army? Yes you did, because the Queen Fester did not follow. We've seen this before, guys, where Relic just leaves his partner behind, and son of a bitch. Doing it again. Just shaking my head. I don't think Relic should be allowed to make queens anymore. Seriously, this is so stupid. It looks like bottom right is going to finally be finished off. And there we go. So your second team to be eliminated, possibly? There we go. Is going to be Zakar and Leprechaun. Zakar, you did great. Leprechaun, I feel your decisions might have been a little wrong going with those cracklings. They didn't really work out for you in the end. And Zakar, fairly upset, and I would be too. GG, though, does come out of him, and there we go. An hour and 36 minutes in, and I am getting bored to fucking tears. I'm pretty much just tired of seeing Relic just not help out his teammate. I mean, last game he did great. Few games before this, though, I raged at him. And I feel it was totally justified because he does leave his teammate really far behind. Dude, just take some units with you. Are you listening to this, Relic? Take a few of your units with you so that you can attack them. And if you need to, put them on hold position up here on the tower. No, instead you're just going to lose your queen. Okay, that's fine too. Whatever. Who gives a fucking shit? Anyway, so while you're out there dicking around and leaving your partner again high and dry, you can listen into these words of wisdom. Keep a few units up there on the high ground and attack them whenever you're low on energy. Stop fucking retreating all the way back to your base while your partner loses all of his shit. I mean, I don't know if they even had a chance, but with the queen gone, they have little chance. Little to none. And this is just... it's so sad. I feel like Grayson deserves a better partner. I mean, I don't mean to say that Relic is not a good partner. Relic is a great partner, but even I was able to kill Grayson and Relic just because I feel like Grayson does a really great job, but then Relic just has some wonky decisions. I don't know. But anyways, GG. Bottom left is going to be taken out, so your third team to be defeated today is going to be ImNotGrayson and Relic. Your winners today with 5,000... oh, Bluesky actually surpassed Dizaster, but with 50,000 points each, your winners today will be FVCKIN's Bluesky and xTBaG Dizaster. Great game, guys. You really did set your opponents to easy mode. That was incredible. I am RageyPoo, and this was my broadcast. I hope you liked it. Signing out. See you guys next time.